Hey, hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Sunday night? Sunday, the fun day, May 31st, 2026, in the Lord Christ, in the year of the Lord Christ. How is everyone doing? How is your weekend going, huh? I'm a little hyper, although I'm very, very tired. Hyper and tired at the same time, you know what I mean? Me and my wife actually went to Silver Lake Golf Course on Staten Island, and we played about 12 holes. She basically wanted to just keep going. And it was good. I think she played better than I did. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you do. Um, hold on. Sorry, I got like two keyboards and two mouse here. Brooklyn, Brooklyn. Yeah, those two young guys, they were pretty good actually. You know, they had some like distances. Oh my freaking! What is she eating? You're complaining that you need to go to treadmill and then you keep eating stuff. Please. All right, everyone. And then I hung out for a little bit on Friday night with my friends. It was good to see them. Now you can wear shorts and, at least not complain about the fucking weather, right? And, huh? Can you just let me do my podcast, please? Okay? Just for a second. So in any case, I am tired. Yes, I'm tired. Yesterday, basically, we didn't do anything. We were just home, sitting home. And, excuse me. I'm sorry, I have my apologies. I mean, the allergies are just at the top of the mountains. I mean, peak season, allergy season, May. And I'm sorry, I apologize. Problem with me is that, when I start sneezing, snort. Snort or start, sir. When I start sneezing, then I just can't stop. That's the allergies. That's the fucking histamine, right? But I don't want to take any allergy medicine because that's just screws up my other like systems in my body. It's like including like the brain function. You have a brain fog next day, and just like, well, what's the solution for the fucking allergies? And boost your immune system. I take the vitamins. Uh, and I eat 3 meals a day, and I don't know. It's just like coffee also kind of makes me hyper, but then I need that. So that's my habit. 1 cup of coffee a day. Obviously, weekends, you get up late, right? And my apologies. Last podcast, I think. I mean, I don't have any listeners or viewers to begin with, and if I screw up my podcast, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the time that people really took out their podcasts was during COVID, all right? But I just basically closed my fucking you know, uh my own sort of life. Not that I closed myself, away from the whatever. I mean, the isolation just like took a fucking toll on me. And I just kept even more myself in isolation, more than required. All right. So that just like the time when I should have actually, instead of fucking, you know, making that as an excuse and shutting myself down and just sitting in my own hole, maybe I should have just taken my podcast to next level. A lot of people actually did that. But then I don't know. Again, I don't want to go back into fucking past. And podcast is what I do, just talk to myself. It's like my own self psychotherapy and all that, right? Where are you going? Yeah, please. You walked like 3 hours. She walked on turf for 3 hours. I was the one who was driving, right? I mean riding. Now she wants to go to treadmill. I don't understand that. In any case, so what the hell I was saying, and then I lost the chain of thought. Sorry. Okay, so successful podcasters, all right. When everything was shut down and people were just against the fucking TVs and their computers and YouTube, and that's when like I think Netflix made a lot of fucking money, right? Every other fucking platform, all right. I don't know. I just became too like oblivious. I was in the fucking oblivion and thinking that that was just it. I don't want to fucking talk about COVID, honestly. But what else is going on, everyone? So, I get a lot of anxiety. Obviously, I have anxiety issues, all right? Not depression. I don't think I have depression. Anxiety, all right? Anxiety leads to insomnia because I think about work. Work anxiety. I get a lot of work anxiety because construction and the whole industry here in New York is extremely like very like everybody's so pushy and stressful and just, you know, it can be a little too much, and I feel it that I've been doing this forever, but I got to take a lot of deep breaths. And so, what do you do for anxiety? I was actually reading on Reddit yesterday, right? So, insomnia usually, unless you have like insomnia, I don't know. I think I have insomnia due to anxiety and anxiety for a long time, right? Just like thinking and overthinking, the loop thoughts. I just knew that term, found out that term. Are the thoughts, like kind of intrusive thoughts and come into your fucking head, right? And so, for example, I will think about one thing from work, right? That I have a meeting, let's say on Tuesday, and I've been thinking about that this morning, and I was trying to get some fucking sleep. And it just like gives me the anxiety, and I can't do that. So I got to tell myself, hey man, I mean, unless they're gonna fucking sue you or something, or there's some, even, whatever it is, it's just like you got to deal with it. You got to fucking deal with it. So why are you so fucking anxious about a fucking meeting on Tuesday, right? So That has been an issue for me, and that just leads to fucking insomnia and just how do you keep these fucking thoughts out of your head, right? I mean, what do you say, mantra? Actually, somebody on Reddit was saying that, oh, you should just say a mantra, some sort of mantra. Hey, these are not, these are just thoughts, and these are not fucking real, right? Yeah, oh yeah, then the fear, right? The fucking fear of like, uh, I mean, it's not like the fear of, oh, something's gonna fucking get fucked up, let's say in that meeting or something, right? It's not like that. It's just anxiety leads to all kind of things like, you know, sleeplessness, and it just anxiety itself becomes an anxiety. What the fuck am I saying? All right, so just the thinking about the anxiety, the thinking about, that's also another fucking problem, right? So, what the hell was that? You still here? Oh, say, Soru. Okay, Soru. So, I tried to basically be on, few times on those like sleep aids and sleep meds, right? And those just like are so unnatural to the body, right? That they affect certain neurons in your brain. So depending on what you are taking, all right. And I don't want to take those honestly. Um, Oh, fucking SSRIs. Who was talking about that? I mean, Joe Rogan was, everybody's charged. SSRIs are just like, it's like SSRIs are like these medicines that actually pump serotonin into your brain, right? And that actually just like not good for me. I mean, I'm not, those are usually good for people who are depressed. I mean, listen, I'm not self-diagnosing my own fucking, anxiety and all that. I'm just saying, how do you deal with that? Some people basically just meditate, it helps them, but I don't know, my mind has never been, like I'm always on fucking hyper level of the hyper activity in my fucking brain is always like off the charts, right? And so exercise, yes, I get it, exercise helps, you know but then I gotta be careful because again, I don't want to sound like I'm making fucking excuses, but I feel like from the beginning, right? From the beginning of my fucking like physical life. What do you mean, sir? Like you have another fucking non-physical life? Well, I mean, without getting too philosophical, don't we have like a spiritual life? I mean, our body and everything is just an astral body. Don't we have like a hologram of like astral body around us? I don't fucking idea. But um, the anxiety, yeah. So that has been an issue, and oh yeah, the physical part, I realized that I think the year before when my sciatica started, right, on the left side, and I realized that somehow from the beginning when I was a child, like the whole left side of my body, from legs all the way up to here, I think I have the issues with nerves. And that just manifested, I think, with sciatica, on the left side, right, of my lower leg, the calf. and then I had an issue with my hand, and it's just like I realized because when I was young, and every time somebody would take a picture, right, and then I would see that my like I was like this, right, in the picture, and my father was always like telling me, "Hey, you got to straighten up you know, your shoulder, man." Like so somehow, we all have. Listen, just say, oh my freaking God, what is she doing? In any case, so I just have I think there was something that was not normal as far as like 100% normal. I mean, I didn't have any issues with walking and all that, but I always had issues with like pain in the foot, left foot on the left side. Always had like every time I got a injury when I was young, right? Like hitting something or like tripping and all that, right? Everything was basically on the left side. I had a lot of like, not a lot of concussions, but like even playing like soccer and all that, right? And so yeah, I don't know what the fuck, how maybe from my childhood, I had no fucking idea, right? But these things manifest themselves, I think, late in the game because our body obviously is just a biological fucking machine. It has a shelf life. And so without health and without our bodies being in, you know, normal conditions, uh, everything just gets focused on that, and then everything else becomes secondary, which is kind of weird, right? Obviously, it's not weird, sir. Obviously, your health is foremost, right? And then I never like looked into that. I never like you know also sort of like dealt with like issues beginning from that time, right? Beginning from my childhood, and just those issues also then surface, and those for those obviously anxiety is just now. It's not like, oh, I'm anxious because of what happened in my childhood or whatever the fuck, right? But I think I should also get like a brain scan just to make sure my brain is okay. I mean, my brain has got to be okay, right? Otherwise, I would be fucking. Do you think I would be like this, right? I'm pretty sure there's something like in there. I don't know, but I feel like since the fucking the nerve issues, the nerves are basically uh what controls and the signals and everything, right? You for your body, and if those are shot, which is basically your central nervous system, and that can just like uh that can make you angry, and that can make you I think anxious and all that too. I just gotta be, I think for all of us over the age of fucking 50, I just gotta be careful. And I think I say that to every other friend and every other person that I meet. Don't get fucking body injuries, man. It's like uh it's I mean, it's not worth it's not I mean, like even this fucking golf that I play, right? Even now I feel like I'm playing like I want to be, or I'm like fucking, I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with, with distances and drive and even on the fairway, right? But sometimes I mean, I never took any fucking lessons, so that That might have also contributed, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not okay. I don't want to repeat myself because I talked about this. But the bottom line is that the well-being and that's the other fucking problem. For us guys, we don't really take care of ourselves. Like the whole, the body and the essence, the whole like we don't it's like we just do shit and we'll get up and do work and you got to do that and then we don't take care of our well-being. That's just not good, because especially for somebody like me, I never give a shit, like really. Uh, I just kept going, and then, you know, things hit you after a certain age. I'm already past fucking middle age and all that. I'm gonna be fucking ancient soon. All right, so let's change the subject for a little bit. All right. And hopefully, if anybody listening to my podcast, if you're a young person, then yeah, don't get like, don't take care of your fucking health and your well-being. What is it that bothering? I mean, I'm not preaching to any choir, but like I never like nobody like I didn't have a lot of friends, I guess, and nobody like really like gave me any when I was young, nobody really gave me any direction or I just like learned everything by doing. And and also sometimes you gotta snap out of like your routine life, and because in many moments in our lives we also realize that, oh, wait a minute, but what I'm doing or what am I doing, or what I'm doing with my life, is it is it is it okay? Am I okay in my life in terms of work and whatever relationship, or whether you have a relationship or not or whatever, right? But are you happy? Are you to an extent? And what changes? What is it that you like to do? I think this is good. This is actually good, hopefully, piece of advice for young people because, I mean, I just kept going with the flow, and that's not good. Sometimes you gotta snap out of your fucking, life, especially, your routine life, especially if you feel that you need to bring a change, and you should bring a fucking change, whether you need to move somewhere else or change your job or, sometimes just it's hard. These things are easy to fucking say, but hard to do. But uh, you gotta take risks, calculate risk in life, and uh, and financially, I mean, very important that financially all of us, every one of us should be actually stable, right? That's the first thing, which I mean, us engineers, we don't give a fuck about money. And it's like, as long as we have a roof on our head and basics, right? And then that was my like fucking mantra. I never cared about like, like saving, this and that. Plus, I didn't ask for a lot of money when I was working for other people. And even I wasn't taking a lot of salary when I started my own company, which is kind of like weird, right? You think. So that's very important. And I mean, without turning my fucking podcast into, like what what the youngsters should do or should not do, but the other thing, you know, the jealousy part, right? The fucking jealousy part, the envy part, right? The envy and jealousy part is like if you look at all these other people who are making all this gazillion dollars of fucking money, and you are like a fucking, donkey working your ass off. So why? I'm not saying that, everybody has the same opportunities, but you got to basically, I think, make that opportunity for yourself, and just blow through, man. I'm not saying that you hurt people, whatever, in, in, in pursuing your own fucking career and all that. But I'm saying that creativity. I think creativity actually. I get it. It comes from like the deeper, I think, parts of our, desire, right? Desire and what we want to do. But then also, like, you can't be a fucking actor or even a comedian if you don't have any experience. So you got to basically you got to keep doing until you learn the trade, right? You learn the skill of talking and and acting. I mean, I tried both just for fun, not like seriously. Plus, for acting, I understand that you have to. I mean, if you're a short guy, unless you're fucking Tom Cruise, you just, it's tough. Plus, you also have to be, like I was a very skinny. I'm still skinny, and you gotta have some meat, and you gotta look like, you have, like the fucking camera look, right? But I'm not putting myself down, but it's just like, and I'm not saying that because those are the only venues. Yeah, many of us have that desire to go in that direction, right? But people, do that for a living. So that's not the only fucking, you know, uh, career, and that's actually hard. I mean, if you a hard career, I think, because not everybody can be fucking Seinfeld or whoever, right? Who's the actor? Fucking Harrison or whatever, Harrison Ford, whatever, right? And so I don't know. I just, I mean, I am kind of like landlocked now. I can't change my fucking career. Although I was thinking about, with the stress in the fucking construction industry, sometimes it just can be too much because I was just like, I'll give you like I know I talk about this all the time, but I'll give you an example. Last Friday, right? Without getting uh, too much into my work stuff, but like some one of my clients, he's just yelling at me, and then the other guy, the air conditioning guy, wonder, why is a change order? Why is blah 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 blah? And basically, everybody's pointing fingers at each other, and I'm like, dude, why are you fucking pointing fingers at me when, I sent you, my engineer sent you drawings and this and that, right? So I'm just giving you an example, and that just turned into like a pissing contest, And I'm trying to see what the fuck happened, and then I'm trying to calm them down, and then at the end of the day, it's just like stressful, You don't want any of that shit in your life. All right? And so if that becomes, let's say, the you know the job or everyday life you have, and it's just like, it's just, I mean, I had to be a professional, right? But sometimes, people lose their shit, and so I'm just trying to like keep my calm, and but sometimes you have to just tell them, listen, man, I mean, again, without getting too much into uh, details about, my work and clients and all that, but it just that that's how this fucking industry is set up here in New York. Everybody just wants to build and build and build, and just like everybody's it has to be done now. It's like yesterday, And then, the blame game and the pointing fingers and all that shit, right? So I was, this weekend, I was like, okay, so what's the other profession? If I want to switch my fucking careers now, I can't go to like comedy and pursue fucking podcasting. Not podcasting, but like stand up, right? Maybe I should, and I didn't. And that's the lazy part that I just talk about this, I never do it. Here I am now in the fucking summer. Now I'm even more lazier, right? The other one is like, okay, so if I get my private pilot license, maybe I can basically just fly like private jets, right? And there's money in there, but then that's not actually. It's like that's like driving an Uber. I mean, I drove a fucking yellow cab, right? And it's the most independent kind of like profession, honestly. Except that it's stressful because I was driving like at fucking night shifts, right? Back in fucking 2011, and just like, oh my fucking God. Except that one or few times, like the customers or the riders, there was like very few of them are assholes, and everything else was just like the only stress was just driving at like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, right? One of those like old fucking cabs from the taxi garage, right? Will pick up. And I'm thinking that if I get my license, right, flying license, and then I can just basically do that. And it's like I'm just like I'm like a driver. I'm like a pilot, right? That's what it is. So that's I don't know. I don't know. That also is like $15,000 in fucking getting the license and all that, right? At least. So let's see. Let's see. I don't know. I just the other thing, okay, so I want to say this about that because me and my wife, and obviously where we come from, and the mountain areas, the most accessible are through, flying. Like the by road trip, the road trip, it's like a 1 hour flight, and then and if you have to basically take the road, it's like a 15 hour, 13 to 15 hours. It's like fucking brutal. So if I do that, right, then probably I can basically seek some funding and maybe start a fucking airline there, help people there, right? I don't know, but I mean that career is a complete like 180 degrees of what the fuck I'm doing now, but maybe I should, all right? If I can make some money, I don't know. I don't know. So, um, yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like just like construction industry, just too much stressful. And but that's something I can't. It just again, it's hard. Am I fucking repeating myself? I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry. All right, everyone. So it's already like half an hour of my podcast, and that's it. It's close to like 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go to bed. Watching something that passed the fuck out. I'm already tired, But uh, I presume you all are having a great weekend. Be happy now that the weather it's not miserable, it's cold, and you can wear shorts. But we gotta be happy in our careers, relationships, and in our you know, living situation. And again, the fucking, this apartment situation for us has been stressful too, for me and my wife. No offers yet, no fucking offers, because of the assessment. They're doing this work now, changing windows and facade and all these. Like we have like 10 buildings where they're doing this. Hopefully, keep us in your prayers and in your thoughts, and you get an offer and we just sell this and not, spend a lot of fucking money every month on, HOA plus whatever. I mean, I just told you without getting again into too many details. So that's it. That's my podcast, everyone. I will see you all next week.